Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Berkeley. I'm the Reverend Christian Schmidt. I'm one of the co-ministers of this congregation. We are a welcoming congregation and always working on how to better welcome people and care for one another better. When we are not under a shelter-in-place order, this congregation has in-person worship on Sundays at 11 a.m. But thankfully the church is a community, not a building. So whether we gather in person or here online, it is good to be together. Before we really get started, please take a minute, prepare yourself for worship. Go grab a candle if you can, and a way to light it so that you can kindle your own flame when we light our chalice in a few minutes. And please feel free to participate in the service by typing in the comments section when we invite you to do so. We hope your worship experience today is a smooth one, but we know sometimes technical issues pop up both on our end and with the services we use. If you run into trouble connecting, please send a private message to the UUCB Facebook page. We'll do all we can to help you. We don't have a team of professional producers to make our videos for us, but we're so thankful for the collaboration of staff and volunteers and for everyone who joins us in virtual community. Now let's join together in singing number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. The words will appear on your screen in just a moment. For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour, of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mild, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
Good morning. Now, whether you have your candle ready or you're lighting the inner chalice of your heart, let us light our chalice together. I invite you to share in the comments where you are by writing, I carry the flame in whatever town or city you're joining us from. Here are the chalice lighting words. Like the First Hint of Green by Jennifer McLaughlin. As the first hint of green begins to peek through the barren ground, as that little sprig grows into a healthy stem, as that stem grows into a stalk and forms a bud, as that bud slowly opens with each new day to form a yellow daffodil, let us be like that first hint of green, renewed by the warmth of the sun's rays, and ready to emerge with a new energy, ready to face the day. We light this chalice to bring a glimmer of that warmth into our space. Let us say our covenant together. Love guides this church. The quest for truth and justice is its common purpose. To give thanks, listen deeply, speak with care, honor our differences, and seek and grant forgiveness. These things we covenant with one another.
Glöckchen läutet in den Tag, das klingt so hell und fein. So kommt so rein, also mal, ihr lieben Blümelein, ihr lieben Blümelein. Die Blümchen blau und gelb und weiß, die kommen all herbei. Vergiss mal nicht und Ehrenpreis und Veilchen sind dabei. Vergiss mal nicht und Ehrenpreis und Veilchen sind dabei. Vergiss mal nicht und Ehrenpreis und Veilchen sind dabei. Mein Glöckchen spielt zum Tanzen nur und alle tanzen dann. Der Mond sieht ihnen freundlich zu, hat seine Freude dran, hat seine Freude dran. Der junge reife Ross saß sehr, kommt ins Tal hinein. Mein Glöckchen spielt zum Tanz nicht mehr, fort sind die Blümelein, fort sind die Blümelein, fort sind die Blümelein, die Blümelein. Doch kam der Reim des Tafelnest, das Ruhen wieder schnell, bei Glöckchen zu den Grünen und läutet doppelt hell, und läutet doppelt hell. Nun hält's auch wichtig hier zu Haus, weitchen ruht auf mich. Die Blümchen gehen zum Tanzen aus, zum Tanzen geh auch ich. Die Blümchen gehen zum Tanzen aus, zum Tanzen geh auch ich. Die Blümchen gehen zum Tanzen aus, zum Tanzen geh auch ich. Die Blümchen gehen zum Tanzen aus, zum Tanzen geh auch ich.
Good morning. My name is Catherine Boyle, and I am happy to be the Acting Director of Family Ministry here at UUCB. And today, I have a very special story, and this is the story is called The Day the Wind Changed. And I want you to think about this story in terms of the seventh principle. Now, if you know what the seventh principle is, shout it out right now. So yes, it's respect for the interdependent web of life. It's seeing the beauty and appreciating our planet Earth. And so with that, let's begin the story. Once upon a time, on a hill far, far away, lived some people who forgot how to play. They forgot how to laugh. They forgot how to sing. And they did the same things day after day. The sun was always bright and the sky was always blue, and seldom did a cloud float by. The gardens grew great and tall and gave enough food for all. And the birds sang in the trees way up high. Chirp, 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 chirp. The birds were never heard, and the sky was never seen, for the people worked so hard to keep things clean. The town was so tidy and the houses were so neat, and everything was perfect on each street. The moon and the stars were bright every single night, but the people, they never saw such a heaven. They had dinner at 5, washed their dishes by 6, and were tucked into bed by 7. And as the sun shone away on another perfect day, it called to the wind to say, They are so busy clinging with their noses to the ground that they don't see the beauty all around. They must do something different. They must do something new to get a new point of view. And you know what to do. Said the wind, something different can be arranged. And that was the day the wind changed. It blew very cold and it blew very strong, and soon there was dark clouds in the sky, and snowflakes began to fall and cover one and all, and the people were so afraid. They felt very cold and were very grumpy, and they hid in their houses all day. But there was a girl named Hope who was different, so they say, and she went out into the garden to play. She bunched up some snow and made a little ball, and when it rolled on the ground, it grew, and she bunched up some more and was having lots of fun, and soon she had quite a few. She called to her friends, Come along and play. We can make snowballs all day. If we make lots of balls and roll them all away, there'll be less snow left on the ground. And so the children followed Hope and frolicked in the snow and pushed lots of snowballs along. But then they noticed something strange as they pushed and pushed and pushed, and something was very, very wrong. Uh-oh. They were pushing uphill, and they knew if they let go that the balls would roll back. They would pick up speed and get bigger and bigger as they rolled and damaged all the houses in the town. What can we do? They shouted aloud. And then Hope knew just what to say. She called to the grown-ups who were hidden away in their homes and said, Won't you come out to play? They came to their windows and they peeked outside and they cried, How will we keep warm when everything's frozen? Everything's cold. We'll never survive this storm. And the wind heard their cries and howled through the town with a fierce and furious roar. It blew very hard and picked up some snow, which landed on every door. Thud! Come out, roared the wind. Have courage, be brave. Your lives are in danger if you hide. The children need your help to save the town. And with that, every door flung open wide. wearing hats and coats and scarves and gloves and boots upon their feet. All the people yelled, "We are on our way!" and went out on every street. They ran up the hill to see Hope and her friends standing high above the town, where they held the balls with all their might so they wouldn't roll back down. And when the grown-ups joined the children and started to push, they grunted really, really loud. They got nice and warm and started to laugh. They forgot about the snow and the cloud, for they saw the dilemma of pushing snow uphill. It was very, very silly and very, very daft, but they knew it must be done, and so they made it fun, and they laughed and laughed and laughed. They kept pushing the balls up the hill, and with a final heave, they were at the top, and they yelled, "Yeah!" and gave everyone a hug. And the laughter just wouldn't stop. And they stacked the balls very, very high, way up to the sky, and they made a huge snow wall around the ground, and inside was so warm. They laughed and sang and danced while the wind blew around. And the sun heard the laughter and heard the people sing and called to the wind as it blew. "They have done something different, you know. They have done something new, and now you know what to do," said the wind to the sun. "They're having so much fun. I'll help them with their play." And so the wind changed directions. It blew and fresh and blew the clouds away. The sun came shining through, and the snow began to melt, and the people danced home with delight. Soon the grass was green, and the flowers were in bloom, and the town was a very pretty, pretty sight. Then, with the help of the sun beaming brightly, a rainbow appeared. Water from the snow on the top of the hill slowly trickled down, and it carried the memory of laughter and the songs while it watered all the gardens in the town. And the gardens were more beautiful than ever before, and the people's lives were rearranged. Now every day they do something different, something new, for they'll not forget the day the wind changed.
I invite you to prepare yourself for our time of prayer and quiet reflection. Get comfortable in your chair. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, perhaps. Get any last wiggles out. Join me in a few moments of silence, followed by our prayer. This morning we begin by lifting up our hearts with all those in our community with joys to share. If you have a joy, an appreciation, a small or great celebration you would like to share, type it into the comment section now. I'll pause for a few moments to let you do so. We know that there are also those in our community in sadness, who are grieving, who have suffered, and are in need. If you have a sorrow, a concern, or another burden that we can hold with you, please share it in the comments now. Again, I'll pause to let you do so. I share with you this prayer today from my colleague, the Reverend Lynn Cox. It's titled, Bring Us Close to the Earth. She writes, Spirit of life, ground of our being, root of unified mystery, growing into myriad branches of expression, bring us together now. Bring us close to the earth, ear to the whispering grass, quietly, attentively, waiting with slow breaths, listening for the very stones to cry out with their rocky stories of tectonic plates meeting and parting and meeting again, their mineral memories of Hadean days, molten rocks flowing and joining, their ancient legends of stars born out of the collapse of other stars. Help us to remember. Help us to piece together our oneness with matter, our oneness that matters. With one more deep breath, may we rise, star stuff, walking and rolling across the surface of an impossible blue-green planet. May we join together to heal what is divided. May we find wholeness within, without, among, between. Eternal Source, Seed of the universe, help us to grow peace. So be it. Blessed be. Amen. The lone wild bird in lofty flight is still with thee, nor leaves thy sight, and I am thine, I rest in thee. Great Spirit, come and rest rest in me. The ends of earth are in thy hand, the seas dark, deep, and far off land, and I am thine, I rest in thee. Great Spirit, come and rest in me. The lone wild bird in lofty flight is still with thee, nor leaves thy sight. And I am thine, I rest in thee. Great Spirit, come and rest in me.
Beatitudes for Earth Sunday by the Reverend Richard S. Gilbert. Blessed are the heavens, for they declare the power of creation. Blessed is the earth, our beloved home, for she is the planet of plenitude. Blessed are the waters thereon, for they gave rise to living things. Blessed is the land, for it is the source of life abundant. Blessed is the air we breathe, for it fires us to life and love. Blessed are the beasts of the field, for they are glorious to behold. Blessed are the birds of the air, for they carve a graceful arc in the sky. Blessed are the mountains and the seas and the valleys, for their variety makes rich our habitat. Blessed are the fields of grain, the orchards of fruit, for they give sustenance, asking nothing in return. Blessed are the dwellers on earth, for they cherish the privilege of living upon it. Blessed are they who protect the earth and all her creatures, from the plants of the field to the trees of the forest, for their reward shall be harmony with the web of existence. Rejoice and be glad, for the earth and her people are one.
My friend and colleague, the Reverend Molly Hausch Gordon, quite prophetically preached a sermon last year about surviving the end of the world. And before it, she asked for input about what specific things or skills would be helpful in that situation. This is a partial list she compiled. To survive the end of the world: stockpile seeds, water purifying tablets, and essential medications. Learn first aid and how to shoot a gun or crossbow. Relearn the skills your ancestors had, like building shelters and starting fires. Travel with a diverse group with many varied skills, perspectives, hopes, memories. You need the children and elders too. Find a defensible location with an adequate supply of water and good soil. Use the landscape that is left. And for God's sakes, check the back seat of the car for zombies first. Earth Day was earlier this week, and what a strange one it was. No parades or gatherings, none of the celebrations we're so used to. No, this Earth Day, like every day for the last several weeks, was different. The day before Earth Day, the price of oil, I noted, West Texas Intermediate to be precise, crashed into negative digits. It turns out that this was more the result of bizarre deadlines on contracts in the financial industry than anything else, but it also had to do with the fact that people simply aren't using as much oil, or rather its byproducts like gasoline, not nearly as much as we were just a couple months ago. In my family, we're driving much less, though still some. Our food and other consumption is rather more carbon-friendly than usual. And our church building, to give one example, is using fairly little energy of any sort right now, and almost certainly less than we are taking in via the array of solar panels on the roof. It's a different world than it was in February. And the real question is this: what of this difference is for good, and what will come and go? Now, I want to honor some Earth heroes among us, all of us who try to make a difference. Those who recycle or who cut their use of disposable products, as our family has tried to do for a little while now. Those who have worked to make our church community greener. Those who have lobbied and worked with other communities and organizations to make change for the better at all levels of community and government. Those who have brought those into our congregation to help inspire others to do this work as well in the gatherings we've had in recent years. After all, none of us can do everything, but together we can do enough. There's a great story I've heard in many forms, but one of the versions goes like this. Once a man was walking along a beach. Off in the distance he could see a woman going back and forth between the surf's edge and the beach. Back and forth this person went again and again. As the man approached, he could see that there were hundreds of starfish stranded on the sand as a result of the natural action of the tide coming in and out. The man was struck by the apparent futility of the task. There were far too many starfish. Many of them were sure to perish. As he approached, the woman continued the task of picking up starfish one by one and throwing them into the surf. As he came up to the woman, he said, "What are you doing? There are thousands of miles of beach covered with starfish. You can't possibly make a difference." The woman looked at him. She stooped down, picked up one starfish, and threw it out into the water. "I just made a difference for that one," she said. And so too, I want today to honor our so-called cat ladies who use this quote frequently in their work. Linda Laskowski, Lenore Ralston, Susan Langford. I know there were others involved too. I hope they won't be offended if I miss a name or two. They worked tirelessly to rehome cats who were living feral around our member Lee Lawrence's house, some 90 of them altogether. They did what they could do, and they made a difference in doing so. It's inspiring to me, perhaps to you as well. I don't know everything we have to do to alleviate or mitigate climate change, though I know there are those who do know that. I know that I can't do it all. But if these last few weeks have shown me anything, it's that great transformation is possible, even quite quickly, that a different way of living can work, and that we have tremendous power to make change in our world. That all of us are in this together, whether we like it or not. When shelter in place is lifted, when a vaccine is available, when things have changed once again, we will be forced to make choices about the world, the society, the community we want to live in. Friends, let our choices be good, compassionate, and wise.
In the beginning was the cat, and the cat was without purr. The ether stirred, and there was milk, and the cat saw that it was good. It was good. Ya-da-da-dee-dum-da-dum, ya-dee-da-dum. A hand stretched forth across the milk and scratched behind the cat's ears, and it felt good. Da-da-da-ding-dong. Then the firmament shook, and there was produced a paper bag. Then the cat went forth into the bag and sing that it was good. She fell asleep,
Like every other organization in these sheltering-in-place days, UUCB is experiencing a loss in income. Rental income is down because we can't allow others to use our space. And some members and friends of our congregation have had to hold off on making donations and paying pledges until they can go back to work. We understand that this is a hard time for many people, and we hope you will reach out to one of the ministers if you could use financial aid from our minister's discretionary fund. It's more important now than ever, if your income hasn't been affected, to give generously. Maybe even make an extra pledge payment or two. Our board and staff are exploring options to help maintain funding for the ministries and programs that we love. But it is going to take all of us digging deep in whatever way we can to support this congregation so that it can continue to offer support to those in need. Additionally, UUCB is honoring our commitment to our Good Neighbor organizations, even in these financially challenging times, because they also need support now more than ever. This month, we're sharing half our offerings with the Women's Cancer Resource Center. The center helps women with cancer improve their quality of life through education, supportive services, and practical assistance. People with any form of cancer, from all backgrounds, economic levels, and ethnicities are served at the center. Clients include people with new diagnoses, people in remission, those living with metastatic disease, and those receiving end-of-life care. Whether you can make an offering of $1 or $1,000 or somewhere in between, all offerings are received with gratitude. More details on how to give electronically will appear on your screen as our offertory begins. Thank you. Please join me in dedicating our offering to the mission of this congregation. We dedicate this offering and ourselves to the mission of this congregation, to create a loving community, inspire spiritual growth, and encourage lives of integrity, joy, and service.
It has been so good to be together in praise and song today. I have a few important announcements about things going on in the church. Our board president, Carrie Simpson, continues to offer office hours each week by phone on Tuesdays from 3 to 5 p.m. You can call her then. Her information is in the directory and in the week ahead. Usually when we meet in person, a board member is available as a listening presence in the atrium at least once a month. From now through May, Elaine Miller has volunteered to listen to your concerns and suggestions. You can also find her information in the directory. Each week we have a new feature, just started this week actually, Ask UUCB Virtual Chat. At the request of your board president, our executive director, Tess Snuko-Riva, is hosting the new Ask UUCB. It's on Zoom. The information is also in the week ahead. It's on Thursdays at 6 p.m. just before Vespers. You can send questions in advance to ed@uucb.org or just show up and ask them. Again, please refer to the week ahead in your email for more information about these and so much more going on. And now a message from our president, Carrie.
Hello. As your board president, I just wanted to take a moment to speak to you about some resources available to help you process and cope in this difficult time. First and foremost, we are a community. And as such, we are here for each other, from a team of Easter Bunny helpers to our own grocery delivery volunteers. We take care of each other, and it warms my heart to see it. As your board, we are making every effort to be here for you, listening to your ideas and concerns, and inviting you to be engaged with our processes. Tess, our executive director, has started an Ask UUCB virtual chat to answer your questions about how UUCB is handling this transition as an institution. Board members are hosting open forums to listen to your concerns, and we have changed our processes to ensure all congregants can access our virtual board meetings. The UUA has provided materials and resources to guide us in this time of transition. Details on this can be found on our website at uucb.org and in the Week Ahead newsletter. We know that the challenges we are facing as a congregation are happening within what is already an unparalleled event in history. We are living in the times our descendants will study about in school. Hopefully, they can learn from these times and follow our example of caring for each other every day and finding solace in the community we have created. Thank you, and may you and yours be safe.
"'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. Go and enjoy this earth, whether that is a journey through the woods or a look out your window. Enjoy the green trees and plants, the birds of the air, and all the creatures that creep and walk and fly and live. May we cherish each of them and our world. Our worship is ended, and our service begins.